Guys, this is PushDustIn, and I'm joined with Epic Martin 7 and Liquid 12A. Today we'll be talking about if Smash for Wii U should be ported over to the NX. We're not talking, if the rumors are true or not. We're just talking from a fan perspective. Should the games actually be ported over? Liquid, why don't you start us off?
Well, if you ask me, I think it would be a smart decision for Nintendo to have a strong system launch. Some of their better IPs, their more prevalent ones, might not have a title until later in the NX's launch cycle. So if they had something strong to start it off with, I think that would be pretty useful for them.
Okay, how about you, Epic Martin?
I feel that it would be a smart move. Mostly because the Wii U has really been lacking, of course, the user base. I think we're at 12 million for their user base. So they haven't really reached the audience that, the PS4, the Xbox One has reached. So it would be good for the casual market to, port that over and have many people experience, Smash Wii U really for the first time.
Yeah, and I think Smash for Wii U, it has less than 5 million sales right now.
Less than Smash 64.
Yeah, so it's by far the worst selling Smash game, and while the 3DS has sold I think over 7 million, it would make sense to try to make some money back or make a bigger profit. So what do you guys, would you guys be happy with just a straight port, or do you think that they'll be just doing a straight port? Epic, what do you think?
I could see a straight port happening. Sakurai has said he is moving out to his next job, and that, with his wording, that wouldn't really sound like Smash-like. So he might be working on something else, and Bandai Namco might be working on just porting Smash. So, I think that would make the most logical sense. As long as I had something with Nintendo account, to where you could, say, oh, you could upgrade your game through that, that'd be perfectly fine.
But the Wii U, I think they did say that the Nintendo account would be integrated with the Wii U before, but we really haven't seen that much integration with it, unless you count the eShop.
Right. They just came out with it too, so.
It would be kind of difficult if you have a physical copy of the game for Nintendo to actually prove that you have the copy, if that makes sense.
But of course, there's always room for growth in that area. So they could improve upon it once the NX is revealed or launched, because we don't really necessarily know a lot about the console, so there could be a lot of things that could potentially happen and get improved upon, so.
Yeah. Okay, how about you, Liquid? What would you think would happen? What do you think will happen with if the game is just ported over?
I wouldn't put it past them to just make a straight port if Sakurai's not involved, because he's usually involved when it comes to things like character design, which if the game is a straight up port, we wouldn't be seeing any newcomers, so there really wouldn't be any sense to bring them on board. Thus, just make it a straight port. Nothing more to it.
Yeah. So you'd see him just as basically approving the port, and then that's it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel. I think that if we were to get any new content, it would be kind of light. It would be something that could be made with a pretty quick turnaround. Because if the rumors are true, and that it is launching with the NX, then that's pretty soon. You'd only have 1 year between the end of... You would have less than 1 year between the end of development for the DLC and the launch of the NX.
If we do get more characters, that could potentially happen at E3. They could be saying, oh, we just revealed these new 3 characters, blah, blah, blah. And, those are the only characters that are going to be added. And they might do, DLC afterwards. It's just... There's a lot of ways this can go.
Yeah, do you think that they will support the game with DLC?
I honestly find that pretty hard to theorize, you know? Like, if they want to keep it going, like, well, okay, hold on. This goes back to a point I've been thinking about regarding a potential NX Smash, and that would be if it's cross-compatible with the Wii U version. Because if they added new characters, you know, it would undergo a Marvel vs. Capcom 3 situation. So, I think it would make sense to just keep it functional with the Wii U version, but if they don't intend to do that, then I think DLC is not out of the question for an NX Smash. You know, that's just an idea I've been having.
Yeah, how about you, Epic?
Well, Hyrule Warriors Legends recently released for the 3DS, and of course that had more characters you could transfer to the Wii U version.
Mm-hmm.
I could potentially see something similar to that, where you buy the NX version and you can transfer them to the Wii U and 3DS versions, with those versions having like less content, and then the NX version having more content for those respected characters. But I feel that you know, maybe Sakurai wouldn't want to go through the hassle of doing what Hyrule Warriors did, because honestly he'd be developing like 3 games at the same time.
Yeah, and that sounds like a pretty tremendous task.
Yeah, if you thought character development took really long, this would take like nearly, I would think, over a year. If
well, yeah, of course, depending on the development team size.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it was big as the original team, then I could see them pulling it off relatively quick. But we've been hearing that the team shrank since DLC. So,
well, there is that old rumor that there was they were hiring for Smash 6, and if you go by the internal names, I believe Smash for 3DS is Smash 4, and Smash for Wii U is Smash 5. So theoretically, the next Smash would be Smash 6.
Right. But the thing is, the rumor did say, I'm not here debating whether the rumor is false or not. I'm just saying, you know, it was supposed to come out in 2015.
That's true. So maybe it was the DLC.
I mean, it could have been. I mean, it's kind of weird to codename DLC as if it was the next Smash game, but I could see where they were taking that stance, because they were changing development pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, so I could see that. Another thing I could see for the NX port is that maybe this kind of goes along with the Smash 6 rumor, but it's another version of Smash 4 entirely, separate from the 3DS and Wii U versions. Basically with different modes compared to those two. Maybe extra, like, different stage selection compared to them. Maybe some stages from them. You know, I could see that happening. So,
new content rather than a mixture.
Well, I'm all for new content, honestly. If they're gonna make this not just a straight port, then I would prefer that it has some bit of new content to differentiate it from the Wii U version. Honestly, maybe even mix some of the content that was in the 3DS and Wii U versions. You know, get a ultimate pack or something like that, or something. They can come up with a better name than I can.
Smash and pack. Well, I think one issue is that Sakurai sees the 3DS as like the private, the home version, while he sees the Wii U as the stadium, the public version. And so because of that, you have different modes in those games kind of representing those ideology. That's why Smash Store is in the Wii U, is because everyone plays it on the same screen at the same time. With Smash Run, everyone has their own screen and they're, you know, boxed into their own game, and so that's where the personalization, the home version of the game is kind of, I don't know, best exemplified. So I don't know if they will mix the content. It really depends on what kind of system the NX is.
Right. Rumors have been saying it's supposed to be, of course, a handheld combined with a console, pretty much, with the controller being the handheld. So, yeah. I mean, it might be able to work. Like, if, you know, you got Smash NX day one, and they basically just, like, hey, we have the 3DS and the Wii U versions not, like, combined into one game, but have them separate on the same cartridge, they could do that too.
Yeah,
but-
where like if you play in just the controller, then it plays the 3DS version, for example, or something like that.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there's a lot of room to where they could do certain things with this Smash port. Depending on, of course, what the NX is, because we've gotten bare bones from Nintendo.
Yeah, we should be hearing more soon, I guess.
You know, E3's near, so
yeah, 58 days.
Yeah.
So one last thing I wanted to add is that it does seem that Sakurai, out of all the development cycles, he seemed to have enjoyed the DLC for Smash for Wii U and 3DS the most. Translating his interviews and everything like that for Source Game, and it really does feel like he's very optimistic. I think he got along well with the team, and I think he really wants to kind of work on that kind of content again. So I don't think it's too far-fetched that it would just be DLC. I don't know if they would support all three systems or if they would just support the NX version.
Well, I mean, if Nintendo really wanted to help improve the NX's sales, they wouldn't really have to go for like that extra content to entice the former Wii U users to get the new Smash game and the console as well. I think that's a major factor because I think it was near the time of Tower of Smash, if you guys remember that. People were saying, "Oh, there's going to be new characters to help save the Wii U," and that never came out to be. And I think at that point, Nintendo really kind of looked at the Wii U as if, we can't, it's too far into the Wii U's life cycle to turn it around. And I think they were in development of the NX at that point. So they might have a different mentality this time around toward the NX.
Well, NX probably started development right as soon as the Wii U was released.
Right.
They generally start making the next console as soon as, even before the last one was released.
I mean, R&D's always working. I mean, they could be in development of the next console after the NX right now for whole.
I mean, it would probably make business sense to do that.
Right.
So, Liquid, do you have any closing thoughts?
Well, I think that most of our questions are probably going to be answered this E3. I think Nintendo has something big for us, and it's not Ridley, just in case you were thinking of that. Nah, I kid. No offense to Ridley fans. I just wanted to joke. But yeah, I think Nintendo's going to probably verify or disconfirm whatever we're thinking by E3 if Smash was shown there, which there's an equal chance of it happening and not happening, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, nothing has been confirmed yet. Alright, well, that wraps up our discussion. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks.